sneak peek for Designing Women, and these are Designing Women. Designing Men. Thank you all for being with us. Thank you to our people that are on Facebook and YouTube watching. So people, this is the new world, right? We're here, we're live, we're on the internet, so we're thrilled to have you here. This is actually our first sneak peek since we've been back from the pandemic. So we're excited to be here, excited that y'all made it out tonight to see us. It's really a wonderful time. And we have some special guests tonight, so excited to introduce you to that. So if you haven't, who has been to a sneak peek before here? Okay, so about half of you. All right, so if you came and you thought you were watching the show, it's not the whole show, so you gotta come back. This is really a sneak peek of where we are in the rehearsal process. So where we are, we've had about 3.5 weeks of rehearsal, and they start technical rehearsals this weekend. So what you're seeing is what we get to before we get to tech. And so we've got about another week till our what we call our soft opening, and then our press opening is 2 weeks from now. So we got a lot to do. If it looks unfinished, it is. You are the first people they played for, besides those of us like producers who don't laugh very much. Although I laughed a lot the other day. That was a lot. That was a lot for me. And so they'll be thrilled to have you enjoy it. And we're just so thrilled to produce this play. Now, you all, how many are subscribers? Are anybody a subscriber here? Okay. So some of you thought we were doing a great comic this fall, but we decided that with the pandemic and people singing, it was too much for us. So we decided to change, and we had this great opportunity. I started following this play about a little over a year ago. I have some friends that run this theater, Theater Squared in Arkansas, and I saw they were doing Designing Women. I went, Designing Women? I want to do that! And I called up, and they said, yeah, they're going to take it to Broadway. I don't know, maybe. And then I talked to them 6 months later, and I said, yeah. Had a great conversation with producer Elizabeth, and she said, I talked about 2 hours, and she said, yeah, I think the theater's maybe too small. And I said, okay, well, let me know when. And then about 4 months later, they called and said, well, how about you want to produce it? And I'm like, yeah, let's do it. So the play is, and the reason we wanted to do it, it is the perfect play for Atlanta 2022 election season, because this is set in 2020 election season. There is lots of political jokes in it, and lots of jokes about the pandemic, too. Luckily, now we can laugh about those things, now that it's a little bit past. The play is written by Linda Bloodworth Thomason, who is the creator of the TV series, and Linda is here with us by she's there on the computer. Linda, you want to say hi? Can you hear us? Let's see if she can talk to us. Linda, can you unmute? Maybe she'll talk to us. Let me call her. Let me call Aaron. Hold on a second. Let's see if they're in trouble. Technical difficulties. Look at this. Turn around. Can you turn around?
Oh, yes, I want to apologize. I'm sorry I can't be on camera. I have an issue with a detached retina, and I've had to have surgery, so I'm a bit of a mess.
Is that as loud as she gets?
But I'm just so enjoying getting a chance to look at all of you and all of you fine people who showed up to see this. It's going to be my first look, too, so I'm honored to share it with all of you, and I'm just really excited to see what's going to happen.
Great. So, Linda, I'm starting out by saying, how did this thing come to be on stage? You wrote this television series. It was a big hit. You've been doing all kinds of other television things. How is it here on stage with us?
Well, everybody kept asking me during the pandemic, you can't see me, but you can hear me, right?
Yeah, we can hear you fine.
Okay, I just want to make sure you can hear me. People kept saying, oh, gosh, I wonder what Julia Sugarbaker would have to say about, Trump grabbing women by the you-know-what and all of these horrible things that were being said. I thought, I wonder what she would be saying, too. And it just increased, as the tension has increased and the division in our country has grown wider. And we've always been the show that our special hat trick was bringing people together. We always got awards from the evangelicals as well as the ACLU. We got citations from Mitch McConnell, as well as the LGBTQ community. And so that was kind of our special hat trick. And I thought this would be the show that you could go see and, you know, be sitting next to somebody you can't stand, but both of you are laughing at the same joke. So that was the goal.
That's great. That's fantastic. And you did this. Where did the play start?
We started about a year ago in Theater Squared. We wanted to go home to Arkansas. My husband and I, both of our families are from Arkansas, and it's kind of our spiritual home. And we had a lot of parties there. The Ville Marie is there, which is home, which is the actual building the sugar bakers are in. And so we wanted to take that home. And Atlanta is our ancestral home. So we feel like we're touching both bases. But we started in Fayetteville in the middle of COVID, in the middle of winter, in a red state. And we broke all box office records there. And then a few months later, we went to Little Rock to the Arkansas Rep, which is well established for many years. And we broke box office attendance records there. So we were pretty encouraged by that we could have a play during this divisive period, during one of our, you know, most challenging periods in our nation's history, and have so many people not just come out and be supported, but I mean wildly enthusiastic audiences. I've never had more enthusiastic audiences, even on show night when we were filming the show in the 80s and 90s. So we've been very pleased with the response, and we feel so lucky to have Lisa and Horizon Theater pick this up. We feel it is the perfect sweet spot for the play right now, with all that's going on politically and culturally, and all of the women's issues, which are still ongoing, that we talked about 30 years ago. And we just feel that Atlanta is at the center of everything right now. So we're very, very happy to be where we are.
Great. Thank you so much. So, yay! We're having a little technical difficulty. I have an audience member that's online. My mother. My mother tells me that she can't.
I have an audience member that's.
Oh, so there you go. My mother's telling me that she can't hear, so. I count on my mother to give me to tell us what the text was. She tells me every time.
Right.
Okay, so I'm going to introduce Heidi, who is our director, Heidi Klein. A lot of plays here, most recently once, right before the pandemic, and so thrilled to have her back. And I'm going to pass it to her and let you tell a little bit about the story of the play and what's here, what your take on the play is. Come on in.
All right. Hey, everybody. So glad to see you here at the theater. Thank you for coming. Well, to start with, we wanted to make sure we honored Linda's work from the past. You know, I did a deep dive on Hulu, and I watched it when I was younger as well. I think we'll have a lot of people in the audience that watched it when it was actually on. And to update all these characters to 2020 is a fun thing. There's been a lot that's happened since the show went off the air. So, well, it's never gone off the air. I mean, it's certainly in syndication all over the place. But deep dive to get to know the characters well. And we want to tip our hats to the characters as well and honor, you know, what came before. And I think what I love about the play, the spine of the play for me, is about something we talked a lot about during the pandemic, which was it was a chance to recharge or reset. And these characters, I think, all want to recharge, want to reset. And in terms of what I hope the audience leaves with, I hope they feel uplifted. I hope they also see that it doesn't take a pandemic to reset, that we always have that power within ourselves to do that. And I think that's always, we always have the chance to reinvent ourselves. And I think that's a very positive thing. And then we set out to cast the best group of ensemble actors that we could have. And, you know, the Horizon began as a theater that was very much focused on ensemble acting. And so it was important to fit within that mission, to find a group of players that were going to play together and play together well. And we found our group, and they're outstanding. So that's what I think the play means to me, and what I hope it will mean to the audience. And I think we've all jumped on board that. And I think you're going to get a laugh too. We want, I think everybody could use a good laugh right now. And so we look forward to being able to do that for our audiences. So we're tipping the hat to what was, but we're certainly interpreting these characters of who they might be in 2020. So I think that's it.
Okay, so that is one of the reasons we're doing the play is, we did 3 kind of serious plays this year so far, and we think it's time to laugh. So that was really the most important thing to me, is that people have an opportunity to laugh. And so we've got some wonderful comedians, and I'm going to introduce them a little at a time. So we're going to do a little talking to the actors, and then we're going to do a little scene so you meet them as we go. So I'm going to start with our folks here, and I'm going to start with Catherine. Catherine is our Julia Sugarbaker, and Catherine was in this play in its premiere in Arkansas, and so she actually, believe it or not, lives here in Atlanta, and so
down the street
in the park. So she's been working in the film and television industry. We had never met before. Linda said, "My good friend Catherine lives down the street from you. You should really audition her." I said, "Okay." So we're thrilled to have you. So tell us a little bit about yourself, and then a little bit about Julia.
Well, I'm a Southerner, and I've been mostly living in Los Angeles for the last 30 years. And about the last 10 of those years, my husband and I, who's also an actor, have been coming back and forth to Atlanta to work on different productions. And I have a 32-year-old and I have an 8-year-old. My 8-year-old, who was born here in Atlanta right before I went to work on a show here, is now in school, and it just started to make sense. It's like we just seem to keep going to Atlanta, and I really love the sense of community. I live in this neighborhood, and it's, the older I get, the more it just feels really important to me, the community, whether it be the community that we have together making this play or in my neighborhood. And I just thought, God, if I cut off my finger, I could knock on, 16 people's doors and say, take my daughter right now, And I've only been here part-time, and I know everybody. And so I just really love that about being here. Do you want me to talk a little bit about the play and Linda? Probably,
yes.
Not just about me. My favorite color, and I hate shrimp. No, I'm a Southerner, and so I kind of feel like Linda and I are each other's spirit animals. Because in LA, there's not that many really good Southern writers. There's not that many people that write Southern that's really right on. And I don't know that there's that many actors out there that really get it, So when the way we met up, she just is, I feel like I know who she's writing about. I just feel like I know them in my core. Julia is a lot like my grandmother. But in terms of the character, this is Linda's character. This is a person that cares about her world. This is a person who cares about the English language. This is a person who is somewhat formal, smart, has had a fair amount of loss. I have had my son's father pass away. Julia Sugarbaker's lost some husbands, and so I feel very close to the character. But I just really, over the 10 years since Linda and I worked with each other last, she would call me and say, Catherine, we're going to put on a play in the yard. And I'd be like, I'm there, I'll say they went that away. I always know, for me, I feel like her words are just doing the work, and I'm just get to play along. And it's just been a joy working with, these guys are such fine actors and such nice humans. It's really been a pleasure.
And now I'm going to ask your sister,
Suzanne,
to jump in. This is Suzanne Sugarbaker, her estate sister.
My name's Beth Byer, and I'm playing Suzanne Sugarbaker. A blonde tonight, but will not be for long. Well, let's see. When I saw the audition notice for this, I was super excited because, of course, I watched this show. I was a teenager when this was on, but I absolutely loved it. And I thought, oh my gosh, how fun that they're bringing this back, and how fun would that be to create these characters again? And I thought, oh my gosh, yay, someone's writing something for my age group, which was really nice. So I'm just super excited to be here and to be able to help create Suzanne and bring her to life again. I started thinking about the character and I thought, why do we like her? She's spoiled, she's self-centered, she's shameless, and yet we all love her, you know? And I was trying to figure out, why is that? And I think it's just because she's authentically and unapologetically herself. And she knows her strong points and she plays to them, and she's not afraid to speak her mind. And she has a healthy self-confidence, and you know, she enjoys the limelight. And besides the healthy self-confidence and enjoying the limelight, I really don't have much in common with her. I was like, let's see, she's a member of the NRA, no. She's a Republican, no. Divorcee, wealthy, no. But I feel like I know who she is at her core, and I hope that I can bring her essence to everyone that loves her. So that's it.
Now I think I'm going to jump to the two other sisters. So let's do Charlene, big sister first. So.
Hi, I'm Lane Carlock. I'm playing Charlene, and I could not be more excited because she was always. I mean, I loved this show. I was obsessed with it growing up. Also, you know, I was a teenager, and you felt like you knew these characters. You knew these women, and also being from Atlanta and being from the South, I loved seeing strong women who could express themselves, and I feel like I knew them in my life, different pieces of these different characters. So when I saw the audition notice, I thought, okay, the last couple years have been pretty bad for everyone, pretty much, but I kept thinking, wouldn't it be lovely to come back out of this and get to be, especially in an ensemble, which it is a pleasure to work with these actors. They are fantastic and giving, and just watching them work will fill you up. But
It's true.
but yeah, just being able to see these characters come to life in a new script was so exciting. I mean, I can't wait for you to see it fully fleshed out. You're gonna laugh, your sides are gonna be killing you, and you're gonna feel great. It's this great cathartic experience. And like Heidi said, it's the night you come to see this will feel like a reset, and in the best possible ways. And I think that for most of us, that was in some ways what the pandemic was like. So you will come out of this having a wonderful experience, and I can't wait for you to see it. And I just want to thank Linda for writing such a lovely piece.
Now who is Charlene in the play? What is Charlene? You don't know who Charlene is. Everybody may know.
How could you not know? Charlene is this loving, giving, wonderful woman who is from a smaller town in Arkansas, and she has a great big family, and this beautiful woman here, Eve, plays Haley, and she's my youngest sister, who, I don't want to give anything away, but I may have brought her in to work at Sugar Bakers. And Charlene is all about family, and that can be her actual family, but especially her chosen family, which is everybody in Sugar Bakers. And you really get to feel in the play through the writing how much that means to her. And I think that really resonates with everyone, because we have people in our lives that are very precious. And again, I think the pandemic really showed that to us. So, yeah.
And you've been on stage a lot of places, but last year Project Dawn was a play that she did here.
Project
so you saw
Dawn.
Project Dawn.
Yes.
She was wonderful in Project Dawn.
Yeah.
So.
Well, thank you.
You do the last in this round, and then we're going to do a scene, and then we're going to go back and talk to some more people.
Sure.
Okay, here we go.
Hi, my name is Eve Kruger. I am playing Haley. I'm Charlene's little sister. I'm a character who, if you have seen the show, is completely new and unique to this play. And I'm actually kind of relieved that way. Because I too watched Designing Woman when I was younger. Like my family watched it together and we really enjoyed it. And of course, being written by the show creator, you feel the voices of these characters come through after 30 years so vividly. And like, it's wonderful to see where they are and to see what they're doing and to see how they feel. And it's wonderful to get to be someone who is completely new to that world and to fit into it in such a beautifully written way. Haley is the kind of character I love to play, which is like an affable idiot. I'm very good at those. I don't know why. So I'm very happy doing this, and I love that we're using the term reset in all of this because for me personally, I grew up in Marietta. I lived in the Atlanta area about 10 years after I graduated from college. But then I was in Chicago for a long time, and I just got done getting a master's degree, and I had literally been in town for like a week and a half when I started sending my headshot and resume to all the theaters, and Horizon was like, hey, audition for Designing Women, and I was like, I will. And it was one of those sort of like kismet kind of moments where I was living with my parents for a minute, and I got off the interstate and I was like, oh, I've been on the North Avenue interstate going towards Little Five Points a million bajillion times over the past 40 years, and I'm listening to Operation Ivy, and I ate at the Varsity the first time in my life after I saw the show at the Horizon when I was in high school, and Heidi was my professor in college, and now she's directing the show, and I was like, I guess I'm where I need to be. I've talked a lot. This is fun. Enjoy.
Okay, all right. On that note, okay, let's put it up here. So we're gonna set up the first scene that we're gonna do, and I'll let Heidi talk a little bit about where we are in the play. But Jeff's gonna tell you where we are on the set right now. So this is Jeff Adler, artistic director, and
I'm always asked to bring some building plans out here. I have to tell you something. This is a quick build. We got the plans as rehearsals were starting, and the actors were rehearsing during the evenings, and we're building during the daytime. And we're spreading our building plans from Isabel and Mariah Curley-Clay, the tandem twin designers extraordinaire who are our resident designers. But we get our plans spread out, and then at the end of the day, we're quick clearing out. And then in the morning, I pull up our plans, and I go, what? Wait, what? No, this is a show we did last year. They were using the plans from previous shows as part of their Designing Women props, rehearsal props. But anyway, what we do when it's a fast build like this is we always give the ensemble and Heidi what they most essentially need. Okay, so instead of a line of tape, it's suddenly okay. We got the level in, and once we did that, then we have stairs, and then can we have working doors? So most of the functional stuff is there, or at least partially there. Pretty stuff, the cosmetic stair, handrails, and balusters, that's coming next and very fast, and all the decorative cosmetic details. But it's fun.
So this is like a breezeway external out there. So we've got ivy and lights out there. There'll be a lot of trim, lots of decoration on the set. We have rugs. We have those chairs up there are just fake. Sets like this, all this stuff costs a lot of money. These furniture pieces. So I've been squeezed, but we've been looking for things out. We've been spending hours and hours on Facebook Marketplace, but we are still looking for some chairs and things like that. So when you come back, it'll be a fully fleshed out. Ryan, Isabel, Curly, Claire designers are incredible set decorators. This is I always say we do at least one play a year that you want to move in the house. We've actually done 2 plays this year that you want to move in the house. So we did The Light earlier, that was the house you want to move into, and this will be another house you want to move into. So we look forward to that. Okay, but that's pretty much it. This is
Leave the plans here, we aren't done yet.
Yeah. We need the plans. Okay, well, you want to say where we're starting?
Yeah,
We're starting early.
this scene is on page 5, so we're very early on in the play. We're meeting the characters. This will be starting with Poodle Scoots, you've met Haley, who Haley is going to be working as a receptionist, which of course was Charlene's first job. And then Cleo is Anthony's cousin, and he sold his part in the business to Cleo, and she's now a partner and a landscape designer and artist. So those are the important people to know, I think. And then of course we had Mary Jo as well. Mary Jo, we haven't talked about Mary Jo yet, and Charlene and Julia. So I think that's all we got. Here we go.
So we've introduced a little bit of setup, and now this is Suzanne's entrance, and then all of our designing women are on stage together at that point. So
Yes.
this will be
Page 5.
pretty short, and we'll give it a go.
Yep.
Okay, thanks you guys.
There's not much to set up.
And standing by, and go.
Good morning, Poodle Scoots. You're not going to believe. My divorce attorney just texted me that Calder not only is still refusing to move out of the house in Buckhead, now he's filed a motion to, get this, repossess the breast implants he gave me last Christmas. That's just bullshit lawyer talk. Anyway, we told you you don't need those things. It's true. Mine were pretty perfect. They just need a little extra fluffing.
Why? There's no cleavage in decorating. Haley, this is, and I'm sorry I have no explanation for it other than the spin of the old genetic wheel. My sister Suzanne.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Excuse me, but is that my new dress?
Oh, yes. And you've already received 3 compliments on it this morning, so you're welcome.
My goodness, you have the most gorgeous skin. I have to know your secret.
It's my rejuvenating secret serum by Suzanne Sugarbaker Cosmetics. Oh, I can give you a free sample.
Oh, wow, thank you so much.
You know, Gwyneth Paltrow has this new moisturizer everybody's talking about that's apparently made from the semen of apes. Now, I wonder if she's collecting that herself.
Now that's a bad job.
Here you go, Hattie. Oh. And I apologize for that horrible ape story. Have y'all noticed since the pandemic how loose things are getting around here? I am noticing a lot more foul language, and I, for one, would appreciate it if we could just try a little bit harder to look and speak like ladies. Oh, shut the fuck up! My apologies again, Hattie. You see, they don't have a reputation to uphold, but I do. As the winner of 13 pageant titles. Oh, I know, Mary Jo, it's a degrading meat market and nobody cares anymore.
Wow, 13 titles, that's impressive.
Okay, looks like Hattie cares.
My 6-year-old Reagan competes on the Little Miss Peach circuit.
Oh, I know all those people. I can help with that.
Good. Maybe you could convince her husband to stop standing in front of Reagan while he lip syncs and acts out all the routines with her.
Oh, is he like a pageant coach?
No, he's a youth choir director. But he just loves show business. Right now he's mad at me for giving away all his old Glee episodes and share CDs to the Goodwill.
Oh, boy. Looks like you and I need to talk.
No, we don't. Never mind, we're good.
Okay, breaking news. So apparently Calder is also asking for 50% of my skincare line. This is a joke. The only thing he's ever done is that his daddy's rich and his wife's good looking. Everyone knows I'm self-made. Now he's trying to pretend like this is some kind of Paul McCartney deal. Where'd that Heather what's her name got $50 million, never wrote a single song, you know, and just apparently had the one leg and a crappy personality.
Wow, what a timely reference. How do you remember this stuff?
Because I love history, Mary Jo. I always have.
Oh, ladies, I would love to hear how this all turns out, but I got a man waiting and miles to go. Oh, your little sis, I love you so much. Oh, I'm sorry. It's just, she's my baby. Being the oldest of 11, Mama kind of let me raise her myself.
Oh, yeah, Julie raised me. Mother was always traveling. I was like her little shadow.
Oh, was that you? I always thought that was a passing cloud.
Let's see.
All right, good. All right, let's have a seat, ladies. Okay, so we're going to talk to a couple of our actors. We're actually breaking in the middle of the scene and just picking up a few lines later, but we're breaking it up a little bit. So I'm going to ask, let's have Cleo come and talk to us. Oh, come on now.
Yeah.
Tiffany.
Hi.
Tiffany, I'd love Tiffany too. Not been on stage here in a really long
It's
time.
been a minute, right?
Excited to have
It's
you.
been a minute. Hi, I'm Tiffany Porter, playing Cleo, and thank you for letting me know it was the cousin who had bought the shares. I should do a better job of listening. Every time somebody asks me, he's like, "Who are you?" I'm like, "Anthony's person, Anthony's friend, cousin." I'm so much better next week, I promise. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. Well, Miser says actors should be banned from talking about themselves, so I'll keep it brief. I am an Atlanta actor. I've been here since '07. I was an apprentice at the Shakespeare Tavern. I love the classics, and that's kind of that's how Heidi and I met. Is we're both Shakespeare nerds. I am a Shakespeare nerd. I know it doesn't look like it. Don't mind the afro. It's a whole ass thing. So Cleo's. So I think what's really fun about this particular comedy is that the laughs are spread, I think, very evenly. What's super fun is being the comic relief in a comedy. So I serve that role, I think, checking all of these wonderful boxes of she's a lesbian, obviously she's black, and taking Anthony from being a male. We don't need any more parts written for men. I would write another part for a man if I were anyone. Where's my friends? How's it going? Being a man these days. It's hard. It's hard out here. Yeah, you can't just grab at people. Yeah, so I think that, it's serving that role of being the black voice, the black opinion within this world, because it's necessary and has always been present, obviously, in the iterations of the past. And I get to uniquely express that within my own dynamic, which I say is oftentimes we find ourselves in places of microaggressions, and how do we deal with that? And then how do we deal with that in 2020? How do we deal with that moving forward? And so it was a coming of age for a lot of folks in America at this time. And let's see if we can get these folks to catch up. Let's see if we can get them to catch up.
Yeah, she keeps them on their toes. Let's put it that way. All right, great. Okay, Joanna, you're
I don't want to follow that. I'm Joanna
up.
Daniels, and I'm originally from Tucker.
That is her actual dialect.
I cranked it up a little, but I went to Florida State actually with Heidi. Although we never worked together, we were there at the same time, and so I'm thrilled to be working with her for the first time. But after Atlanta, I moved to New York for a bit, and then from there to LA, where I was out there for 15 or so years, and then ended up in Chicago, and then back to Atlanta. And sort of like Mary Jo, I play Mary Jo, in case you didn't get that. But Mary Jo, something I love about Mary Jo is that she always looks at everything with a sense of humor. And even tragic stuff. There's some things that have happened in Mary Jo's life that are not good,
but she finds a way to laugh about it. And that's kind of how I ended up back here in Atlanta. It was a divorce. Oversharing. And I laughed my way through the whole divorce. And I just sort of came up with this little phrase that said, you know, laughter is sort of the same emotional release as crying. It just makes you a little more pleasant to be around. So Mary Jo and I are single moms, toughing it out and making jokes out of things we shouldn't be making jokes out of, but hoping that a story will help somebody, or that we can just laugh our way through it and soldier on.
I love your tour.
My what?
I love what you toured in.
Oh gosh.
I think it's so funny. I think it's hilarious.
Well, I mean, it's an interesting thing when you're cast as somebody who is sort of iconic, that comes with a lot of love and a lot of following. It's a little intimidating, but what she's talking about is I was once cast as Ethel Mertz in I Love Lucy. Oh, I know you can see the resemblance big time, but I did a tour with that for a year and a half all over the world. Now, by the world, I mean USA and Toronto. You know, but it was still the international tour, as we like to say.
Where Jesus is from.
That's right.
All right, good. So we did stop with Mary Jo because we got a little bit of lead into your next scene here.
Okay.
So I think this picks up just like a few lines later.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, let's
so Charlene has left, and we're back to business with Haley getting used to her new job, and yeah, let's go then.
Oh, Haley, I almost forgot. Since you're going to be working here, the Atlanta Design Council requires you to view a film on sexual harassment in the workplace.
Oh, yes, of course, that sounds very important. Oh, for God's sake, don't make her sit through that silly film. Basically, I can tell you all you need to know. Basically, it's just Bob asks Sandy if that's a new blouse, and then the police come and take Bob away. And that is why men have become terrified and confused.
Really? Because I don't find it confusing at all. They only have 3 things to remember. Keep your tongue in your mouth, keep your hands to yourself, and your junk in your pants. The era of anything goes, if you got one of those, is over.
Here, Joe, why are you so hepped up about all this? Huh? It's all you ever talk about anymore.
That's right. I have issues. And a therapist. Because unlike you, I am unable to solve all of life's problems by drinking a Coke and eating a Snickers.
You know, they're talking about putting a brownie inside now.
Ring.
Oh, your first phone call, knock yourself out.
Sugar Bakers, this is Haley speaking. Yes, we are open during the pandemic, and we're also online. That's right, we specialize in home renovation and decor. Thank you for calling Sugar Bakers, and may the Lord bless your day. Was that okay?
Oh, I need a little tweaking here and there, but yes, very professional.
Oh, thank goodness, I was so nervous. Suzanne, I am just so sorry to hear about all of your divorce troubles.
Aww.
I would love to say a prayer for you if that's okay. We can just form a little circle right here.
A prayer circle. It's pretty hardcore. Have you had much success with this?
Oh, yes. The Lord has answered many of my prayers.
Really? Come on, y'all. Hey, this is a prayer for me. Come on over here and show your support.
Heavenly Father, we ask that you lift the terrible burden that is weighing on our sister Suzanne and guide her towards your love, forgiveness, and eternal light.
Oh, beautiful. And it seemed like you didn't want to get too specific there, but I would really like to keep the house, my breast implants, the Cadillac, all my birthday.
That sounds like a letter to Santa.
Lord, please give to Suzanne Amen. Cool. Little slick there at the end, but hopefully the basic PowerPoints got through.
Now that the benediction is over, we can all get back to work. Haley, could you run across the street to Breakers and pick up our lunch? I ordered us some shrimp salads.
Awesome.
Excuse me, Haley, but do we really want to use awesome for shrimp salad? I mean, shouldn't we save that for when we unlock the key to eternal life? Or at least find the answer as to why no one in the royal family ever asked Meghan Markle if she was okay.
Yes, that's right. That's a good tip. Thank you.
And scene.
All right, now, gentlemen, take center stage. Okay. So we have new characters. The new characters in the play. We've seen Cleo is new, Haley is new, and our two love interests are new here.
I don't know this
All
love.
Right, so we're gonna see you first. So you start, Luis.
All right. My name is Luis Hernandez. I'm originally from Puerto Rico, and I'm playing Calder Tipton III. Safe to say we don't have a lot in common. Calder is one of them good old boys from Atlanta with lots of money, lots of influence, and I moved here from Puerto Rico when I was 13 years old, so I grew up here in Atlanta. Definitely know a lot of good old boys, and we lived in Dunwoody when we first moved out here, my family and I. But 80s Dunwoody, not like Dunwoody now, like 80s Dunwoody, you know, the white flight kind of thing. So somehow we ended up there, and it's funny because I remember growing up seeing Designing Women and being like, where's this place in Atlanta where it has all this inclusivity, gay characters, black characters, everybody's just kind of welcomed, and everybody talks about different things, you know, in a very open-minded way, which I did not live around at all in Dunwoody of the 1980s. So I get to kind of delve into the other side, how the other half lives with MAGA, and see their point of view. And, you know, it's always the fun thing about being a character actor is that you get to play anybody, almost, and you get to really put it in those person's shoes and pretty much see the world from their point of view and kind of explore how they got there and how they changed. And once again, the whole resetting thing that happens, it also happens to Calder during the play as well, even though it doesn't seem like it's going to happen. It does eventually as well. So yeah, that's Calder kind of in a nutshell. You get to see a little bit of him in the next scene.
What about you as an actor? What things have you been in around here and elsewhere?
Well, here at Horizon, my first show was Easy, which was a novel by Philip DuPois about Atlanta as well. And I got to play a bunch of characters in that one too. Anything from a transgendered sex worker to bouncer at a club as well. So it was another fun one of those. As well as I was in Madeline's Christmas and also How to Use a Knife. I was an understudy for that. And I've worked all over pretty much everywhere. Aurora, Actors Express, Dad's Garage. And I also am a puppeteer as well. And I work at the Center for Puppeteer Arts. Been there since about 2005. Doing all sorts of different shows. And by now I think I've well, maybe not mastered because you never really get to know everything and learn everything. Almost all the puppetry styles, from marionettes to shadow puppets to hand rod, you name it. I can puppetize it.
When we were in the pandemic, we had a show in which he voiced a talking hamburger, a giant hamburger. All right,
Yeah.
Robin, you're up.
Hi, I'm Robin Bloodworth, and I play Wynn Dollarhide, who is also a new character, was not in the original series. And well, I mean, we know behind every strong woman is a struggling, fallible man. So I'm really excited to try to do that and to be part of an iconic sort of reimagining of a series that my mother and aunt used to watch all the time. I'm excited to be here.
What does he do? How does he end up being in this?
Well, he has sort of come into. Well, I don't want to spoil too much, but he has sort of come into the lives of the ladies at Sugar Bakers in a professional way, but then things develop into maybe perhaps a non-professional relationship.
And what about yourself?
Professional relationships are you in?
I was going to say your bunch, but
yeah, I think this is 10. I think this is the 10th show here
wow.
for me, and I really, so I'm very glad to be back. The last one was Time Stand Still, which I really enjoyed. Yeah, so thanks. I hope you guys really like it.
great. All right. Started not too much later again. We go.
Pretty much go.
We're getting ready to
Straight on.
introduce both our men. So.
I start this one.
So now the detective I hired.
Oh,
Wait, you heard. Stand by. And sing.
Okay, so now the detective I hired to get the dirt on Calder is on his way back to the office with big news.
What, you hired a detective?
Of course. This is not my first rodeo. Calder has no clue what he's dealing with. Excuse me, but I believe I've judged over 150 beauty pageants in 31 states and been named 3 times as one of Atlanta's top 50 movers and shakers. I'm just curious. You do know we already know this stuff, right? That's correct. Sometimes I just like to mentally Google myself. Keeps my spirits up. Damn, girl, you are just so friggin' shameless. I kind of admire it. You know, I can't tell if it's the COVID or what, but I have never been around a bigger bunch of potty mouths. You know, there's a reason that Rhett Butler only said damn once. Because if you use it for every little thing, it totally loses its punch.
I know you didn't get the memo, Suzanne, but Gone with the Wind is gone with the wind now.
No, you can still watch it. You just have to pay a fine or something. Who wrote these cookies?
Your new spiritual advisor.
I'm telling you, that Harley is a keeper. She's sunny, upbeat, loaded with personality. She reminds me of me.
Yes. Unfortunately, she can't be ending phone calls with, and may the Lord bless your day.
Oh, yes. It would be so much better if she said, thank you for calling Sugar Bakers. We appreciate your damn business. Now have a great friggin' day. That way we'd even lose more customers. You know, at least 10 people have already texted me this morning about your blog posts.
Oh?
Mm-hmm.
Which one? I sincerely hope whatever that thing is on Donald Trump's head can someday be pardoned and allowed to live out its life in a peaceful sanctuary with things that resemble whatever that thing is on Donald Trump's head.
No, and that's just weird.
Oh, after long consideration, I have decided Mike Pence is most likely a hologram.
No.
Oh, why do the networks pixelate nipples but continue to show Ted Cruz's face? Thank you. I'm not into reasonable, well-crafted arguments anymore. Just plain old-fashioned mockery and ridicule.
Okay, here it is. My detective just found out that Calder, oh my God, has been having an affair. Oh, I knew it. I have always said, if you want faithful, marry a man who's paralyzed from the waist down. You really should have your own line of mugs. You could make a fortune on QVC.
Excuse me, I'm sorry for interrupting, but your cell phone is apparently turned off. Your wife called?
Yes. Oh, it's okay. They know. Yeah, her name's Priscilla.
Oh, okay, that's pretty. I'm sorry, you just make me so nervous. Anyway, she said that her poetry class
could go by the store on the way home.
Okay, thank you. Was there something else?
No. Just God bless you and your wife. I'm just gonna go get these salads ready in the big kitchen.
That girl has never been around a gay person in her life, much less a married one. I guarantee you, her number one hobby is going to be making sure I don't burn in hell.
And how do you know that?
It's the number one job of all evangelicals. It's like their golf.
You know, not everyone can just arrive here, as you people like to say, woke. Before you, Cleo, I didn't really know any lesbians. I used to be worried sick you were going to become attracted to me.
I was never attracted to you.
Well, a lot of people are, you know. A lot of people would like some of this.
Not me.
And speaking of the devil, there he is. Well, what are you waiting for? I need backup.
6 feet, boy! 6 feet!
Calm down, woman! I told you I've already had COVID.
What do you want, Calder?
I want you to tell that little pussy detective of yours to stop sneaking around my country club taking pictures, or he's gonna end up in the emergency room with some surgeon trying to find his little camera.
I know that's your girlfriend, Calder. I know when you started seeing her, and the judge is gonna know too.
Right? Bring it, girl! Come on!
Get away from me! You're all sweaty.
That's because I've been driving one of the lead boats in the truck parade. Oh yeah! At least 25 of my buddies. And then, the Proud Boys and QAnon showed up with their boats too. Every one of them flying the Trump flag. Dude, it looked like a damn invasion.
No wonder this election's starting to feel more like an erection.
You like that QAnon stuff, do you?
Yeah, I like it. You know, I'm not a member.
Well, you know they think Trump is their savior.
I don't read all that stuff.
Because I'm curious, because I myself go to church, and I was always taught that the Lord would send his son, Jesus Christ, back to save us all. So I was just a little bit disappointed when he decided instead to send that guy from The Apprentice who fired Gary Busey for showing poor leadership skills at the Omaha State Challenge.
I don't know anything about that.
You know, Calder, just because you've had the virus doesn't mean you can't still spread it. Why not wear a mask? Why is this one tiny 4-inch square of fabric such an outrageous affront to your manhood?
Because Hillary's a bitch!
She's not even running! What the hell does that have to do with anything?
I don't know, I just know that's always the right answer. I gotta go. Ladies, as always, it's been a pleasure. See you in court, Don.
Why does that man always feel like he just stepped out of a Dixie Chick song?
I know. I don't think I've ever been around him that he didn't find some excuse to use the P word.
The P word? Man's trying to destroy me, and this is what you're worried about.
I thought you were glad to be rid of him.
I am. Oh, I didn't tell you everything because it's so humiliating. But he hasn't just been cheating. The detective says he's been going around Atlanta telling everybody that his girlfriend's so much better at giving you know what than me. I'm so sorry. just so unfair. Everybody knows I have ADD. Why do men think that's the be-all, end-all anyway? I mean, how pitiful can you be if you can't even be good at that? It's not nearly as hard as learning to ski on one ski. Oh, now that's not going to fit on a mug. We're going to have to put that on a serving platter. He's just trying to punish me. Because after he saw that silly 50 Shades, I wouldn't let him tie me up. Well, I'm sorry. I'm not into S&M. I'm into M&Ms. Anyway, it would have been nice, big sister, if you could have blown him away with one of your tour de farce speeches.
You mean tour de force?
Whatever. I just wanted you to
tell him off. It's the one thing that you do better than me.
Well, I think I do a few more things better.
No, just the one. Your brand is confrontational, mine is inspirational. You tell people off and I lift them up.
Well, thank you, Oprah, for that incredible aha insight. But I'm getting a little tired of fighting with people and being called a godless, slutty, communist, pedophile-loving whore in the middle of a deadly plague, so excuse me if I take a small break.
Right. You're always ready to go full tilt to you sugarbaker for some big cause like recycle your bicycle or save the polar bears. But when it comes to telling off my ex-husband for the way he's treated me, crickets.
Suzanne, those are deeply personal issues between you and him. I don't feel comfortable being in...
You know what I think? I think you've lost your mojo and you're just making up excuses. Anyway, I don't need your help. I just need to find somebody new. Yesterday, Harlan, can you send up a prayer about that? I want someone who's strong, but not too strong. Rugged, handsome, kind of outdoorsy, has his own money.
Suzanne, for God's sake, her name is Haley.
Oh, okay, sorry. Is that what you want to be called?
Yes, ma'am.
And she's not here to be your personal prayer concierge.
Oh, no, it's fine, really. God is never too busy. I'll just say it inside my head.
Okay, you're good. You're really good.
Forgive me, ladies. I did just test negative this morning. Now, I was in the neighborhood, so I thought I'd drop these blueprints by. As you can see, your sustainable industrial farmhouse theme is not going to mesh with my traditional and no-nonsense building. Now, I know you went to that fancy institute in Milan, but I'm just a simple country boy. I don't know what sustainable industrial farmhouse even means.
Barn-like, lots of wood, perhaps 5 or 6 unexpected steel beams.
Well, it's a good thing they're unexpected because I won't be doing them. This is for an inner city community center. This is not some pretentious guest house in Buckhead.
So you don't think poor communities should have access to avant-garde design, not to mention a perennial rooftop vegetable garden?
I think that you overthink things. You remember our lunch together?
How could I forget? It was the longest one of my life.
Right. I could tell then by the way you were trying way too hard to be edgy. I don't like edgy.
Then maybe you should stick to building bowling alleys.
Oh, I built a few. Maybe you should try one. Work a little blue collar into your resume.
I think this conversation is over.
You're very perceptive. Try to come up with something that doesn't scream, the designer was here.
I'm not promising anything.
Oh, you never do.
Who is that gorgeous creature? And how have you been keeping him from me?
His name is Win Dollarhide, and haven't been keeping him from you. We usually just meet on site.
Win Dollarhide. That's like the coolest name I've ever heard.
Really? I think it sounds like a character in some corny old western. You're not from around here, are you? Win Dollarhide.
Maybe I can for Sunday, Win Dollarhide.
Okay, we get it. This is exactly what I need right now, just to get back in the game and feel excited about somebody again.
And sing.
Okay, so we've got one more short scene to do for you this evening, and I've just got a few other people to introduce. This is our stage management team over here. So, Joan, speak up. Say it about yourself first.
Hi, I'm Joan McCarty, and I did my first show here at Horizon was maybe in 2004, a long time ago. And I had the good fortune of being able to work on a number of shows. I'm originally from Chicago. I've been down here since '94. I came down to work at Spelman College, where I am still there, and I work with students in stage management and arts management. So happy to be here.
And then Tracy is helping out for a little while. while. So.
Yeah, I'm Tracy Thomas. I stayed managed the last show that was here at Square Foods, and I'm just helping Joe around. I'm ready to go where I can, and whatever way I can be helpful.
Eden is with us. You want to tell about yourself, Eden?
Hi, my name's Eden. I'm one of the assistant stage managers. I'm a high school freshman, so it's really cool to have this experience.
What she didn't say is she's been here since she was 8 years old because she was in Madeline Christmas twice or 3 times? Twice at Madeline Christmas. And then she's also played the lead in plays around town, Fun Home being one of them at Active Express. So she's been a starring actress, and now she's in that awkward teenage stage where the roles are not there for her yet. So she's keeping her hand in, so we appreciate it.
Thank
We have our lighting designer is not here, but what they were doing today was they call focus, and so all these lights come to the floor before we, from each time we do the show, then they go back up, they get moved into different positions, which is called focus, and then tomorrow, Mary is going to start being our light. We've had the same resident lighting designer for over 10 years. She designs all of our shows, and she will be putting the cues into the show. And then tomorrow night we'll start working with lights for the first time. Costumes, same thing. They're wearing their own clothes. I think some of you might wear costume pieces, but all of our costumes, they'll be, it's designing women, people. They're going to have some costumes, you know. Nairobi Moss is our costumer, and she is actually doing another show right now. She'll be with us this weekend to do costumes, and like I said, our props are coming in like crazy all over. And we have a sound as well that also starts being packed in tomorrow. So it's all coming together this weekend. Okay. So this is our final scene for the night, and so this is second act. So I'll let Heidi.
This is second act. So we're in quarantine.
Come on down so I can see you. Come on down so I can see on the camera. Since I'm sorry. The camera can't make it over there.
All right. So we are in quarantine now. We're not going to tell you how that happens, but we are locked down in our pod, and so we know what happens. You know, sometimes it's not such a great thing. Sometimes it's a good thing. But we're going to have book club. So this is the book club scene. Our innocent Haley has discovered Fire Ant Punch, and Fire Ant Punch has discovered Haley. So I think that's probably all we need to say. All right.
All right.
Right. What line are we starting on? We're going to start from I don't even like sex that much.
Thanks, Joe.
Excellent. Well done.
Now what I heard.
All right.
Okay, and sing.
I just find it amusing that everyone thinks that I'm the promiscuous sugar baker. I don't even like sex that much. Yes, I love men, but I'm not crazy about servicing them, and it's a lot of trouble. Even if your personal upkeep is already at the max, you still have to get re-waxed, mani-pedi, and then sit through some boring dinner before you go home and get pounded like a rump roast into a head full. And for what? If you're lucky, a tiny little rush of excitement that lasts about as long as it takes for you to blow your nose.
That's what I'm talking about. I want to swoon and get pounded by something.
We're not going to have book club.
Oh, no, really? No, I was so excited to talk about Jane Eyre, and Charlene hasn't even called in yet.
She's right. Go ahead, Haley. Did you read Jane Eyre just for book club?
Oh, no, well, no, actually, it was part of the 100 greatest novels I've been reading over the past 3 years, as suggested by Reader's Digest.
Oops. Looks like y'all underestimated somebody again.
Well, I have to say, as a former English teacher, that is quite the feat, Haley.
Thank you. I learned so many things I wasn't even aware of, like how I've been around irony my whole life and had no idea.
So tell us why you chose Jane Eyre.
Oh, you know, I really admire the way that she held her own with all the men in her life, and it just wasn't done back then.
I'm surprised you're drawn to that. You seem so quiet.
I know. Everyone thinks that. But I'm just quiet on the outside. On the inside, I'm kind of a
badass. Let me ask you something, Haley. Have you been drinking?
No, I don't drink, but I love this fire ant punch. What is in this stuff?
Tequila. That's why I made you lemonade. I thought you knew.
No, I thought it was non-alcoholic punch like at church. I don't drink.
You do now.
Can you believe it? Here I am, the only teetotaler in the bunch, and it's me who ends up drunk. Oh, the irony. I am drunk, right?
It appears so.
Okay, because so far it seems like I'm, oh, what do they say? Killing it! That's probably not right, though, right?
I don't know. You're pretty entertaining.
Oh, it's my phone. Oh, no. Hello? Oh, hi, Josh. It's Josh. What are y'all doing? Oh, just trying to make crepes around the old campfire, huh? Yeah. What have I been up to? Well, I slept in a big old fancy movie star's peignoir. I'm in the middle of buying a brand new Cadillac, and I gave a plan to Woody. Yes, I have been drinking. If you must know, it's called Fire Ant Punch. No, I don't know. Well, you can look it up, but if you do, you should look under tequila. Anyway, I gotta go. We are discussing the great literature of the world, and I'm about to give a report on Jane Eyre. Uh-huh. Well, let me tell you something. Since you don't approve of the way that I'm conducting myself, let me tell you what Jane Eyre told Mr. Rochester. Do not put me on a pedestal, sir. Do not expect anything celestial of me, for I am not an angel and should not be one until the day I die.
Well, that was rather epic, Haley. I think Jane Eyre just told off your husband.
He's gonna be so mad at me. I read all those books right under his nose, and he has no idea. It wasn't just me telling him off right then. If you read about enough strong women, they start to pile up inside of you. I'm talking about Evelyn from Fried Green Tomatoes, and Celie from The Color Purple, and Jo March, Hester Prynne, Joan of Arc. Woo, talk about a bad ass. Even Holly Golightly. By the way, Mary Jo, your Truman Capote cheese ball? Killed. Oh, thank you so much. You are welcome. Anyway, all those women started to pile up inside of me, but they might never have come out if I hadn't met all of you. And that's what got the party started. Woo! It's like the best book club ever.
Haley, we'd like to apologize and explain why we were going to let you go.
Oh, no. No. Girl, we're good. She told me it was for mixing church with business. I just didn't think it through. And all that stuff about my daughter being engaged to Jesus, well, don't tell anyone I said this. But that's just the evangelical don't have sex elf on a shelf.
Well, what I'm trying to say is, we'd like to hire you back.
Whoa, excuse me. Wasn't it just a few days ago that you all felt that Haley could never fit in here? But now that you found out she read the 100 greatest books and you got her drunk enough to admit she cried over a couple of gay cowboys, and, oh, she also might be kind of a feminist. Suddenly Finally, she's woken up after all to answer the phones for Miss Jane Fonda, Miss Whoopi Goldberg, and Miss Gloria, what's her name already?
Hey, I'll take it. Me too.
I wanted Jane Fonda.
I'm sorry.
And anyway, just for the record, you still have not apologized to me.
And what am I apologizing to you for?
You mean, besides you all making fun of everything I say and do, the big thing that really sticks in my crawl space is that you took the person that I really felt my heart was meant for me.
Oh, dear God, Suzanne. Do you have nothing else to do but think about this man?
That's correct. And since there's a pandemic, I have no way of finding another one. Anyway, I felt an immediate connection, and you not only discouraged me, you acted like you couldn't stand the man.
Well, I changed my mind. Listen to me. I already gave you my favorite pony, my best pink diamond earrings, my first Balenciaga gown, and my old Aston Martin. I'm not giving you this man. So stop whining, grow up, and get over it. He's taken.
People, we have not finished discussing a single book. Let's cut our losses and just call it a day.
Oh, of course. Let's quit now because my book is up next, and you know what it is.
Let me guess. Gone with the Wind.
That's right. And since nobody's asking, I'll ask myself. Tell us, Suzanne, why did you decide to revisit Gone with the Wind? Well, because I am deeply offended that nobody wants to talk about it anymore. And also because Margaret Mitchell did such a beautiful job of telling the true history of the South.
Okay. Okay. You want to talk Gone with the Wind? Let's do it. Let's get it all out there on the table.
Oh, Lordy, hide the children.
That is all of our scenes. Are Emma and Jordan here somewhere? Where are you guys at? Okay, so you want to come down, or do you want to? Yeah, come on down. So I've got some staff members here to introduce and let them say hi. They're going to do their little. They've been sitting here all night very nicely. They are brand new to Horizon. So we have Emma, who's I'm sorry, wrong guy. George's marketing communications. Emma is development. I'm going to let them speak a little bit. So you want to go first? You go, Julie.
Yeah, sure. So hi, my name's Jordan Postal. I am the new marketing manager here at Horizon. I just
take your mask off when you talk.
Oh, hello. Hi.
Yeah, you see me. That's the new rules here.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, I just moved here to Atlanta, and I'm really excited to be here at Horizon and to join this wonderful community here. And I'm just going to talk a little bit about the show and our marketing for it. We have some posters outside if you'd like to take them, hang them up around your office, schools, anywhere in the community that you feel that it would be appropriate to advertise our little show here. And if you want to buy tickets, you can
and
do
flyers.
Yeah.
Little flyers.
Yeah.
Little flyers.
Yeah, we have little flyers. We also have big ones in case you have like an office or something that you want to hang up the poster in. But we have tickets online. You can also call our box office. We have a rate right now, but anticipating that it might go up with sales. So go ahead and buy your tickets now while you can. And also, if you have groups, we do offer group discounts. So if you have a group of 10 or more, feel free to get in contact with me, and we can arrange a group discount for you. But yeah, so that's it.
Hi, I'm Emma Seif. I'm the development manager here. I'm an Atlanta native, so hey, planning women. Yeah, we're looking for a show sponsor. We're always looking for show sponsors. If you or somebody you know would like to do that, please reach out to me, development@horizontheater.com. I'm always available via email for any donations, and I want to say thank you to anybody here tonight who has donated in the past. We are truly grateful for your support. Yeah, let me know if you have any questions, concerns, would like to make a donation. I'm always around.
So I always tell people at this point, we do the sneak peek a lot to have you help get the word out, because these plays come and go very fast, and it's really hard to get the word out to people because people got a lot going on in their lives, and people get lots of emails and lots of social media, and it's hard to break through. So if you like what you see tonight, I hope that you will help people to come see us. But do we have any questions? Anything you'd like to ask? Linda's still here, I think, on the thing there. I think she's there. I'm not sure. But anybody curious about anything that's going on? Questions? Don't have to have, if you do. Anybody in the cast have questions for the?
I hope not.
Is Julia Sugarbaker going to have some other hair?
Julia Sugarbaker, Julia.
You mean
Oh,
me or her?
I'm sorry.
Suzanne?
Suzanne.
Yes.
Going to have taller hair.
Taller. It's definitely gonna be darker. I don't know if it'll be taller. I guess we'll see.
She definitely, yeah, they are, I think you are having a wig,
Yeah.
having a wig and you're having a wig for sure. You are not.
Yeah, we're not in full costume.
Yeah, we're not,
Yeah.
they're in. Is that one of your costumes? That's
This
what
is
you
a
got.
costume,
That's
yes,
what
but
your
this is my hair.
But she
It's
doesn't
yours.
have her wig.
It's my hair.
I know.
It is for now.
It was kind of its own character.
Yes.
Yeah, it was the 80s with all this
Yeah.
stuff.
We moved to a new year.
Yeah.
It's gotta be new hair for a new year.
But it'll be
That
dark.
was funny.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting, playing characters that have been played iconically by others, to be able to sort of invent them with the same feeling of those characters without being the same. And I think they're doing a great job of doing that.
Linda said to be in her wake. Not do a Saturday Night Live sketch of her. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I hope you guys had a good time tonight. Thank you so much.
Has other cast members worked together before?
Who's worked together? Not all together, everybody, but different people have.
No.
If you were
Nobody's worked with anybody.
You guys worked
Oh, they
together.
have.
You guys
Worked
worked
together.
together. Three of them. And then
Those on the bench. See what good it did them?
Yeah, I mean, and working with us, like about half had worked with us before and half are new to Horizon. So it's always fun to mix it up like that. So, yeah.
How many scenes and how long is the play?
But well, plays about 2 hours. About first act's about an hour, second act's about
60
an hour.
minutes, first act, 65, second act.
Second act, 15-minute intermission. So I like 2:15 or something like that. We're done. Yeah, how many scenes? There's one. They're long scenes.
Total 14, but there's one scene that was left out in this current
So like
version.
13,
So there's like
12,
13.
Yeah, these are for a contemporary play. These scenes are pretty long. All those first 3 scenes you did were all part of the first scene where we intro everybody. So that's a really long scene. Then we have some shorter ones after that, and the second act we go into pandemic mode. So a bunch of different things happening. Yeah.
The stage scene stays the same?
The state, pretty much, there is a scene that takes place up there, and there's a scene that takes place over here, but there isn't a lot of scene change in this. This is pretty much our location for this one. Not a lot of tricks. Just more, it'll be more beautiful than tricks. So yeah, mostly actors for this one. Not a lot of fun difference here. Yeah. But we always use the island. Yeah.
When does it open?
We start performances September 30th, so a week from Friday we start performing, and then our press opening is October 7th. But we start selling tickets, people start coming on September 30th, so it's coming up.